Superman has a new motto: no more. No more wars, no more crime, and no more compromise. As he begins to dismantle global conflicts with brute force, the Justice League is forced to choose: stand with their leader or stand in his way. Okay, we're now giving you the second part of the Injustice story. If you didn't get the chance to watch the first part, you can click it now to understand why Superman acts like this. But before we jump into the story, thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you love deep dives into comic lore, make sure to like, comment, follow, or subscribe to Comic Leap. All right, without further ado, let's leap in. The story picks up in the Fortress of Solitude. Superman is spiraling, grieving the loss of Lois while surrounded by a chaotic symphony of global news feeds. Seriously, Clark? You're trying to process your trauma by listening to every conflict on the planet at once? Bold choice. One specific report catches his ear: a brutal slaughter in the country of Bialya. Something in him finally snaps. He mutters two words that change everything: no more. He flies into Bialya, positioning himself as a human shield for the civilians. Missiles are raining down on the city, but Superman handles them like they're nothing but flies. The people are relieved, but the reality is grim. The government is standing by, doing absolutely nothing to stop the carnage. Naturally, Superman isn't just gonna sit there. He flies straight to the Capitol, grabs the president, and hauls him in front of the people he's failed. He's ready to give him a lesson he won't forget, but Wonder Woman intervenes. She tells him that if he wants to send a message to the world, he needs to do it the right way. Cut to the UN. In a move that shocks everyone, Clark reveals his Earth name to the public. Yes, right there in front of the world's press. He declares an ultimatum, a total global ceasefire. He doesn't care if he has to face governments, presidents, or terrorists. If you're an oppressor, Superman is coming for you. A few days later, the US military is targeting a terrorist cell. They launch a drone strike, but the missile never hits the ground. Why? Because the operators see a blur on their screens. Superman, flying at Mach speed, intercepting the missile midair. The US president and his generals realize the honeymoon phase is over. Superman is now the world's policeman. And while his intentions are noble, he's causing serious political instability. So the leaders come up with a dirty, cunning plan. They send a special ops unit to the Kent farm. See, Clark? This is exactly why you don't reveal your secret identity. Under the cover of night, the unit bursts into Martha and Jonathan's room and kidnaps them. To cover their tracks, they burn the house to the ground. The twist? The leader of this unit is Mirror Master. As the flames rise, he drags the Kents into his mirror dimension. By the time Clark arrives, there's nothing left but smoke. Mirror Master appears in a reflection with a chilling ultimatum: stop intervening with governments, businesses, and wars, and we might let your parents live. We move to the Watchtower, where Superman and Wonder Woman have gathered every hero they can find. Deanna takes the lead, delivering a powerful speech to unite them. The mission? Find Clark's parents. The response is unanimous: they're in. But there's a glaring absence in the room. Where is Batman? The Dark Knight is nowhere to be seen. With no time to waste, heroes like Hawkgirl, Cyborg, Shazam, and the Flash start hitting the streets to squeeze the underworld for info. Luckily, Barry Allen knows exactly who to ask. He tracks down Captain Cold, a fellow member of the Rogues alongside Mirror Master. Leonard Snart isn't exactly a snitch, but under pressure, he gives up a lead. Mirror Master is hiding out at a dive bar called World's End in Keystone City. The heroes storm the bar, but only Diana and Barry head inside. Catching a guy who can disappear into any reflective surface is tricky, but with a little mystical assist from Raven, they pin him down. Diana wraps the lasso of truth around Mirror Master, and the secret starts spilling. He reveals the location: Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia. It's the largest natural salt flat on Earth, and when it rains, it becomes the world's biggest natural mirror. The perfect hideout. Moving at light speed, Superman and Flash arrive at the salt flats. Armed with a specialized belt that allows him to phase into the mirror dimension, Clark dives in. Just like that, the government's fail-safe plan officially falls apart. Back in the Oval Office, the president is reeling from the news that his kidnapping plot failed. Suddenly, Batman emerges from the shadows. He doesn't come for a fight. He comes with a warning. Batman tells the president he made a massive tactical error. By kidnapping the Kents, he didn't break Superman. He accidentally united every hero on Earth behind him. He's made Superman more powerful than ever. But as Batman leaves, the president's parting words hang heavy in the air. Power corrupts. The question remains, will Clark's new ideals keep him a hero, or is he on a one-way trip to becoming a tyrant? Over at the Batcave, Nightwing and Robin are mid-sparring session. Damian is getting a bit of a beatdown, and Dick is using it as a teachable moment to show him how he could have handled the exchange better. The training is interrupted when Superman floats in. He's not there for a friendly chat. He wants Bruce. He politely, but firmly, asks Nightwing to take Damian elsewhere so the grown-ups can have a little privacy. Superman cuts straight to the point. Where were you, Bruce? Where was the world's greatest detective while every other hero was risking their lives to find Clark's parents? The tension in the cave becomes suffocating as Batman fires back. He doesn't apologize. Instead, he demands that Superman stop this global crusade immediately. Clark argues that he's finally bringing peace to a broken world. Batman's response is cold and unwavering. We don't get to decide who dies. Still as idealistic as ever, aren't you, Bruce? Clark isn't buying it. Meanwhile, out in the open ocean, a Japanese whaling ship is hauling in its catch, but they've picked the wrong day to hunt. Aquaman senses the agony and terror of the whales, and he's had enough. Arthur doesn't just release the whales, he goes on the offensive. He summons his Atlantean army and begins tearing the ship apart. He's done playing nice with the surface world. The Justice League is already on it. Cyborg alerts Green Lantern, Shazam, and Wonder Woman, who race toward the coordinates. Diana arrives first, hoping to de-escalate. We know Diana and Arthur share a deep bond of friendship, and for a moment, they both hesitate to draw blood. Until one of the Atlantean soldiers makes a fatal mistake. He fires a shot right at Diana's face. The hesitation vanishes. In a flash of divine rage, Diana decks Aquaman with a punch that could level a building. The rest of the League, including a very ready Hawkgirl, descend from the sky. It's no longer a rescue mission, it's a full-scale battle against the armies of Atlantis. The war is on. It's the Justice League versus the combined might of the Atlantean army. In the open ocean, Arthur holds the home field advantage. He lunges at Wonder Woman, grabbing her and dragging her down into the crushing depths of the Pacific. Back at the Batcave, the conversation between the world's finest has turned toxic. Superman goes for the jugular, accusing Batman of intentionally keeping the Joker alive all these years just to keep playing their hero-villain game while innocent people died. Clark isn't just arguing anymore, he's provoking. He brings up Damian and then, the ultimate low blow, Bruce's parents. It works. Batman loses his cool and throws a punch. Yeah, Bruce, punching the Man of Steel. That's definitely going to hurt you more than it hurts him. The tension is broken by a high-priority alert. The Justice League is losing the battle in the Pacific. Superman, still holding on to a shred of their partnership, asks Batman to come with him. He wants Bruce by his side to help end the conflict. But Batman refuses. He stays in the shadows of the cave, watching his best friend fly away alone. It's a heartbreaking moment, the definitive end of an era for the two of them. Back at the ocean, Shazam swoops in to save Diana, grabbing Aquaman and hauling him into the sky to strip him of his watery advantage. But Arthur isn't blinking. He looks Shazam in the eye and reminds him that the sea has its own weapons of mass destruction. Suddenly, the horizon disappears. A massive, towering tsunami is racing toward them. The heroes scramble to save the ships, but the wave is just a distraction. Shazam drops Arthur back into the water, only to witness something truly nightmarish rising from the abyss. Massive, ancient tentacles breach the surface, swatting warships aside like they're cheap toys. It's the Kraken. The war just went from intense to apocalyptic. The chaos is at its peak when Batman's voice crackles through Aquaman's intercom. He gives Arthur a blunt warning. Superman is incoming. He's furious, and he's not coming to negotiate. Seconds later, the Man of Steel streaks across the sky, snatching Aquaman right out of the air. Superman demands an immediate surrender. Surprisingly, Arthur agrees. But let's be real, it's not because he's terrified of Clark. It's because he still trusts Bruce's judgment. The fighting stops, but the tension doesn't. Aquaman makes it crystal clear he will not take orders from Superman. Atlantis is his to command, and he won't be bullied by a surface dweller playing God. To prove he's not bluffing, Diana tells Superman to check the monitors. Atlantean armies are surfacing all over the globe simultaneously. It's a massive show of strength, Arthur's way of saying, don't mess with the king. But the Superman we knew is gone. He's done with shows of strength. In an absolutely jaw-dropping display of power, Superman, with the help of Shazam, Wonder Woman, and Green Lantern, reaches into the depths. Together, they lift the entire city of Atlantis out of the ocean. They don't just move it, they drop the legendary underwater city right in the middle of the Sahara Desert. The city that thrives on water is now baking in the hottest place on Earth. It's a terrifying message. Batman tries to intervene over the comms, but Cyborg, who seems to have fully picked a side, removes Batman from the channel. He effectively silences the Dark Knight, cutting Superman off from his last moral compass. Wonder Woman meets with the defeated Arthur. Realizing he's been outmatched, Aquaman agrees to recall his armies. But before he leaves, he offers a surprisingly human moment. He tells Diana that if Superman truly intends to rule the world, he can count on Arthur's counsel. He even offers his sincere condolences for the loss of Lois. Diana returns to Superman, and Clark, satisfied that the point has been made, agrees to return Atlantis to the sea. But here's the kicker. Diana never delivers Arthur's message. She keeps his condolences and his offer of counsel to herself. Seriously, Diana, why keep him in the dark? It feels like she's intentionally isolating Clark, making sure he only listens to her voice. All right, everyone, that's the end of the story. What did you think? Did you love it? Or do you have another comic book story you want me to cover next? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit that like button, leave a comment, follow, and subscribe to help us grow. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next leap. Bye!